Test, test, test.
You're live.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, everybody else. Welcome to my channel, Liquidation Motivation. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please go down below and like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you're watching on YouTube. If not, please go over to YouTube and subscribe. My channel is all about eBay, Amazon, pallets, truckload, bin stores, liquidation store, consignment shops, and building wealth. Who wants to talk making money here? So, I'm all about making money. I'm all about figuring out how to make more money, how to build my wealth, how to build wealth so that I can afford the things in life that I want to buy. All right. So I agree that money doesn't make you happy, but certainly having a nicer car, being able to afford a steak dinner, being able to afford the things that you couldn't afford 10 years ago certainly makes me happier. So that's what I'm all about, making more money. I'm an entrepreneur by trade. The advantage I have as an entrepreneur over somebody who's a worker bee, somebody who trades their time for money, who trades an hour of time for a set amount of money, is that I throw so much stuff against the walls, and I learn from my mistakes. I learn from my failures. I have failed several times in the past, and then you learn from that, and you build a business that's sustainable and that'll work for years to come. So I'm fortunate that I'm in this journey. I've been in this journey for almost 20 years now, from my last bankruptcy, going to college and then starting new businesses all along the way. I'm about 20 years into this section of my journey, and am I rich? I'm not sure what rich is. I'm not sure what success is, but I certainly could retire right now if I wanted to. But I don't want to yet. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to go up a little bit more, and then I might think about thinking about hanging up the towel. Who knows? I mean, I'd probably go do something else somewhere where, a little more meaningful. I mean, I love this business. I love the liquidation business. I love flipping stuff and making money. But, if things continue going the way they're going, if the next year is as good as my last year, then I certainly will think about something more meaningful in life that I'd want to do. And what is that? I'm not sure yet. But listen, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, put them down in the comments down below. The best place in Florida to get bin store loads, or do you sell them? I don't sell them. I can get them for you. They're available. I believe they're still available here in Florida. I bought Amazon 6-foot pallets. Now, what the company requires you, they come from Excess Limited, but I bought them from Midtown Liquidators. They require you to wire them $20,000. And then when the invoice comes in, you pay 9% of the invoice. My last load was $15,000, so I believe that works out to like $650 a pallet, which is a really good price. 6-foot tall pallets. The only bad thing about it, there's a really good thing and a really bad thing. The bad thing is it's half food. Some people hate food. I don't mind food because I have a guy that buys my pallets of food. But the good thing about it is there was 12 Samsung S21 Pro Max. I don't even know the damn. But it's this phone right here. It's the latest phone, 108 megapixel camera on this Samsung phone. There's 12 of them in that load, and they sell for $1,000 a piece on eBay. So pretty much I got all my money back by selling these phones on eBay. That's really the way to go to buy those loads. So if you ever want one of those loads, you can contact Excess. I can help you out getting that load. I don't mind helping. Listen, I don't mind helping people out for free, because then my name gets put in front of Excess more and more and more and more and more, right? So then they think about me more and more and more. So whenever they get Florida loads, I want every broker in the country, when they get a Florida load, to think about Tom Schultz, right? Because I don't want to pay $4,000 shipping from halfway across. I'll pay $400 because it's in Tampa, or $400 because it's in Orlando. I'm right in the middle, or $700 because it's in Miami, or $800 because it's in Jacksonville. That's why I want every broker to know my name, to know who I am, to know I own Florida. I don't own Florida, that I want to own Florida. So any loads, there are some loads that I buy out. The only two loads that really are furniture loads that I buy out all of Florida. And one is Ashley, and the other one starts with a W, but I'm not allowed to broadcast their name. That's part of the deal I have. But I buy all their furniture loads in the state of Florida. And most of the time it's good. Sometimes it's crappy. But, I guess I just got to ride out the bad ones and be happy about the good ones. So, I am looking to buy out another load. I would buy. My problem is I get my Amazon smalls locally, so I have a constant supply. I picked up 12 pallets yesterday. I got 12 more coming in today. I got 12 more coming in tomorrow. So I have plenty. I probably get two truckloads, 2 tractor trailer loads a week of Amazon Smalls locally. I also buy from nonprofits who they bring in U-Hauls full. Then I have Inmar has a warehouse down the road, 20 miles. That is, I buy CVS at about 8% of retail. And they also have Walmart there, but they don't let me buy the Walmart yet. I'm still trying to work my way into the Walmart. I heard an interesting stat today, and I really believe it. Your income is more influenced by your zip code than your, what do you call how smart you are? Yeah, but what's when they, on a scale of 100? IQ. Okay, so your income, see, I'm not even smart enough to know what an IQ is. Your income is more influenced by your zip code than it is by your IQ. So what does that really mean? That really means, like, and I can attest to that. So I'm from upstate New York. I'm from the country part of New York. I'm 20 miles from Canada. And, I come from a small town with not a lot of wealth. Now, there's not a few, there's some people with money in that town because it's a military town, so the military contractors make a lot of money. But the average person is like a teacher, or two teachers living together in my town are rich. That's considered rich in my town. There's not a lot of money. There's a lot of, low-income people, a lot of cheap houses. You used to be able to buy houses there for $40,000 or $50,000, stupid cheap. And, until the military base expanded. So the opportunity to make a lot of money just wasn't there. Now, I did okay. I opened up a liquidation store. I ended up buying the restaurants and my real estate with it. But the minute I moved to Florida, my income quadrupled, because now I have, instead of, I live in a town of 30,000 people, and the next major city is an hour away with 400,000 people. Now I live in Tampa, where the area has like 3 million people. If the whole city demographic, meaning St. Pete, Clearwater, all that area. Orlando's less than an hour away. Lakeland's right in the middle with 150,000 people. It's just because of the opportunities of the area I'm in, I quadruple my income. So if you're living in if you're thinking about this, and listen, I understand and I enjoy small town life. It was easier being a big fish in that pond. Now I'm a little fish in a big pond, because I had some guy the other day drove up in a Lamborghini. It's like one of 50. It's my business partner's friend. He had one of 50 Lamborghinis, and he paid $800,000 for it. $800,000 for it. That is just absurd, ridiculous. I mean, good for him, right? I mean, I don't know how much bank he's got to have buy a car for 800 grand. And I know he didn't pick up the bill at dinner, but he'll pay 800,000. So he's a cheap son of a gun, but he's got enough money to buy a car like that. So I don't know what he's got in the bank. I know he's a dentist and sold a whole bunch of dental practices. So think about it. Think about that. I mean, nobody has a car over, probably 60 or 70,000 where I live, except for the great big trucks, right? All these guys that are buying these huge trucks, the construction guys. But so think about it. You're better off moving to a better location if you live in one of these small towns. Contemplate that. I'm not recommending anything. I'm just saying that I quadruple my income moving to a big city. Food works for me. I separate and usually sell it for $2 or $1. Yeah, the food that I got in those pallets were more like what you get at Sam's Club, like bulk pack stuff. It'd be like a 10-pack of mac and cheese, or dog food, or coffee, a big thing of coffee, K-cups, a lot of K-cups. So I don't mind food. You definitely can get more than $1 or $2 out of this food that's going to be in these pallets. I palletize it. And I put it in 4-foot pallets. I make sure it's overflowing, and I sell it to a gentleman for $350 a pallet. He's a reseller, so I don't even know what he's getting out of it. He claims he doesn't make any money, but I never believe him. Anybody says that to you, don't believe him. Hey, I don't make any money on this. Don't believe him. Don't believe him, because nobody does this shit for free, okay? Everybody's got to make some money. Does he make a little bit of money on it? I don't know. Maybe he sells them for $400 or $450. But if he's buying 6 pallets and he's making $100 a pop, that's $600, and it probably takes him a couple hours of time to handle the deal, which I think is a good deal. Making my move to buy out all of Amazon bulk in California. Good. I mean, that's great, Anthony. That's the way to do it. I do see these bulk loads coming up lately. About $3,000 for a truckload. Bulk loads are getting bigger items: TVs, treadmills, office chairs. I mean, they're nice truckloads. I like the truckloads. I wish I had some bulk near me in Florida. I would certainly buy them. I have a big store, so if you have a big store and a lot of space, you don't mind the bulk. You know, if you're just doing a bin store, you can't do the bulk. So bulk is good. Nobody's really buying the bulk, so the price is absolutely low. IQ, thanks, Paul. IQ, yeah, I don't have the IQ to remember the word IQ. You talk about manual to bin store. Is it ready? So it's still in the works. We do have. Is our website liquidationmotivation.com? Oh no, .net. I don't. We're building the website right now. So as soon as that website is up and running, we're going to have all the links right there on the website. Esteban's working on it. We'll have all the manuals, the cleaning charts, everything that we have for our bin stores, for our liquidation stores, right on there, free for everybody to use. And if anybody out there has any systems that they use and are willing to share it with us, please send it in. You know, email it or private message it to me, and you know, because I'd like to figure out how we can put one good manual together and then let everybody use it for free. You know, so thank you. You talk about where did you say you get CVS? I missed it. I buy CVS from Inmar. Inmar has the CVS contract. It's right down the road for me, right here in Lakeland, Florida. So I buy a lot of CVS from them. I don't buy it all. So if anybody else wants to buy it, you know, I'd be happy to set you up with that. I like the CVS. It's clean product. There's no stickers on it. You know, I buy it for 8% of retail. But remember, CVS's retail is a little bit more than you get at Walmart, right? Because they're more convenience stops, not destination locations. So they're a little bit more expensive. I've never, what David said, he's never buying me lunch again. David is selling out in Colorado, but he also has a house here in Florida. I don't know why you're not buying me lunch again, David. He took me to Hooters the other day. We had some wings, had a good time. Talked about crypto, talked about the bin store business, the liquidation business. I appreciate it, David. I appreciate you buying me lunch. You know, I did see a load. There's a couple things that I wanted to mention to everybody out there that listens. So here's a load that the Bargain Warehouse is selling. So it says, it looks like Amazon Mediums out of Georgia. They're selling the whole truckload for, let me see. I thought it was like $9,700, but they're showing mediums floor to ceiling. I mean, just huge pallets, huge pallets. I don't know if you're on the Bargain Warehouse website. I'm going to show you guys the picture here. I might have to come up to you, see if they can see this, Stan. How close do I have to get?
You get right there.
Stan's going to zoom in on it. See how high that truckload is? I really like that load. And it looks like mediums. I did buy a load like this before that was no pallets, and it was floor to ceiling with merchandise, but that cost me like $20,000. This one, I think they said this one was $9,700. I wouldn't mind buying this load, but this is my problem. If you're in my group, Bin Store Co-op, I don't know where you're watching this at right now, but if you're go on Facebook, go to Bin Store Co-op and join that group. This same company marked up a load from Excess Limited from $40,000 to $46,000. I really didn't like that. I didn't like that they're making a $6,000 profit off of brokering a load, which just takes a couple phone calls to do. So that upsets me. It upsets me when anybody does that in this business. So if I find you, I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to ask people not to do business with you. So you know, that bothers me about this group. If they, where did it go? So if they were to lower their commissions and actually make it fair so that people like us can make money off this stuff, then I'd be good with it. Yeah. So $97.50 they're selling it for. If anybody knows who the contract holder is for that load, let me know. It might be Excess. I should probably contact Excess. You know, because I'm sure if they're making $6,000 on another other load, this is a lower price load. I'm sure they're making $2,000 or $3,000 on this. So it's $97.50. Maybe I can buy it for $7,000. If I could get it for $7,000, I'd bring the load in right now. I'm looking for a few extra loads. I haven't bought any outside loads. I buy from my local guy in a few weeks because we had so much stuff in our warehouses that I've been focused on getting them cleared out. So we probably have, I don't know what, Paul, like 20,000 square feet of warehouse space back there total. And then we have 2 tractor trailers, and it was all full a couple weeks ago. So I had to stop we bring a lot of it to our bin stores. We bring a lot of it to our out on the liquidation floor. We sell it by the pallet. I'm looking to clear it all out so I can start fresh with new inventory, get everything new and fresh. Because you do get the problem is let's say you get 5 pallets of one item, right? Or like we have these chairs back there. They're nice chairs that we got like 20 pallets of them at one time. So you end up putting a bunch out, and then you have 15 pallets to store. And that just slowly goes down and down and down. I want to just get all that stuff out and start fresh. We also have a ton of bed parts, table parts, stuff like that I got to go through and just take the good stuff out and throw out the rest and just start fresh there. But another load that I wanted to tell you about today was dealing with the virus. I coach youth football, and some of my kids caught the virus. It's really disrupting the whole system, man. I mean, like one kid gets the virus, and then they have to shut down the whole team for 10 days. After 4 days, everybody can get tested to come back. It's just, man, I don't even know how this season's going to go. How's pro football going to go, right? I mean, that's going to be crazy, right? I mean, what if what if they want a pro football team to quarantine?
You said earlier, 252,000 kids thus far.
Yeah, 252,000 kids caught the virus. And then, now listen, if you look at the stats, the under the age of 20, I mean, minuscule chance of having any long-term repercussions. Minuscule, hardly zero, just a hair over a zero. Okay, but my problem is if that kid's around somebody who's compromised, who can be compromised, and we've felt some of that close to our store. And I went from saying, listen, I don't know anybody who's died, to now it's been 3 people in our circle that have passed. Now, I didn't know any of the 3, but I know I'm one person away from those 3. So I got to take this stuff seriously. I can't just be nonchalant about it. You can talk, Paul.
Fox 13, 200 teachers a day are coming up.
200 teachers a day. Yeah. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay, so the second load I want to tell you about is Colton Carlson. Now, you know what? I don't know what Colton's been. I know Colton owns a bin store and a bunch of other stores. Let me just see. So he says, I got some East Coast bin store loads. I have access to new 6-foot unprocessed program that started last week. I brought in 2 loads and was very impressed by the quality, also great for eBay. They're the cheapest unprocessed loads on the planet. If you can get them cheaper, I will buy you Taco Bell. I love that. I'm purchasing 10 a week to keep up with everyone. So if anybody's interested, they should reach out to Colton and see if they can get some loads from him. David said he doesn't want to buy me lunch anymore because the cheap guy with the Lambo didn't buy lunch. There you go, David. You're right. But I believe I believe you need to pass it around. The guy with the Lambo, there's some people out there. There's some people out there that are very, very cheap, and but have no money, and there's people that are cheap that have a lot of money, and I disagree with that. There's a story about this old homeless man. I don't know if he was homeless. This old man was selling eggs on the side of the road, right? And this lady pulls up in a Mercedes and gets out and she says to the homeless man, how much are the eggs? And the homeless man said, they're $3. And the lady said, I'll give you $1. And the homeless man said, $2. And the lady said, I'll give you $1. And so the homeless man took the $1. So the young kid, the son that was next to the homeless man said, why did you take the $1, Papa? You didn't make any money. And he says, sometimes you just got to let it go. You just got to let it go. And then the lady in the Mercedes got back in her Mercedes and went to lunch and went and spent $150 on wine and escargot at lunch, and I don't want to be that lady, So whenever I'm out, whenever I'm in a tip situation, I want to tip healthy. I want to be known as a good tipper. I want to spend money. I want other people to grow and prosper. We took a trip to South America, and I'm with my friend who's from there, speaks Spanish. He wanted to negotiate everything because that's kind of the culture he was in, But if it was a fair price, I would buy it. I don't need to get it any cheaper, And I think if you live by those principles, everybody becomes better around you. So don't stiff the people that shouldn't be stiffed in this world. Okay, people that are trying to work, trying to hustle, trying to make money. You know, give if you're fortunate enough to have some money, you know, help them out. And I think that's very important. So thank you, David, for buying me lunch. I appreciate it. That's the bottom line. Daniel, hey, Tom, is there a website app for the people in the liquidation business to list their location, business details? Users could be any customer that wants to be a customer of bin stores to find them. Is there a website or app for people in the liquidation business to list their location or business details? Users could be any customer that want to be a customer. I don't think so right now, Daniel. I mean, sure, that's certainly something that you could head up. You know, pretty much they're just the groups. You know, the Facebook groups. It's all in. We do the bin store co-op group, which, you know, basically we let anybody in there. We just don't want brokers to post unless a broker posts a load that I feel is valuable to the group. I want to make it clear, I don't make a penny off any of these guys. I don't care to make a penny off any of these guys, but if they bring value to bin stores, to flippers, to liquidators, then I do leave the posts up in the group. You know, certainly the load that Colton had on there earlier, I would leave up. I'm going to leave that load up. There was more to that message on there. It was something else that I thought he had that was super cheap. Maybe I can go into Facebook and find it, but yeah, because he had another post. Let me see, bin store co-op. Colton, where's your post, Colton? See there, 18 hours ago, somebody put 2 Target premium bin loads, 17.9, very clean. Who is that? Chrissy Budd. Chrissy, I'm going to have to boot you, Chrissy. Comment your zip code and we'll get you a freight quote. Matt Geegan. See that? Okay, here's Colton's post. So he said something else. I also have full access to SX manifested loads. If you're interested in those loads, I'll charge you $250 plus an upcharge of $100. So he's going to make $350. That is reasonable. All right, that is reasonable. Why is that reasonable? So Colton has access to Todd over in Essex, right? I believe the guy's name's Todd. And, you know, Todd won't talk to everybody. I have the world's largest liquidation store, 2 bin stores, and I've had a hard time getting Todd's attention. Why? Because I buy most of my stuff locally, and I don't have to outsource it to be a truckload buyer. But he's the one who sold me that floor to ceiling load. I bought one, I think it was like $20,000, and he never talked to me again. Finally, after Corona, now he starts emailing me the loads. But most people he won't talk to. If you got one bin store and you buy 1 truckload a month or 1 truckload every 2 weeks, he doesn't want to deal with you. He wants to deal with Colton, right? Because Colton sells 50 truckloads a month for him. So you got to go through a guy like Colton. You got to go through a broker, but make sure it's a big broker. Don't go through these small-time people, you know, that want to charge you $6,000 a load. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. What was that? Bargain Warehouse? That's ridiculous, guys. Bargain Warehouse. That's ridiculous. You know, so you know, go to Colton. If you guys are interested, go to Colton. I forget what his. If anybody knows his bin store or his company name, I'd be happy to put it on here. Anybody you know working on something like this? No, I don't, Daniel. I mean, I think that a database like that or an email list would be perfect, would be awesome for everybody in the business. You know, I think that Liquidation Truckload has like 20,000 people in it. So that's a great Facebook group to go into. But obviously you don't have everybody's information. But if you post in there, it goes out to everybody. From your experience, this is DLI. From your experience, what is the percentage day by day from $5 to $1? I mean, $5, 20%, $4, 25. So pretty much, okay. In my pretty much what I'm doing is, let me break it. I don't know the percentages, but let me break it down in an average week on my 54321 store. So an average $5 day, which is a Saturday, I do about $4,000. $4 day, I only do about $1,500. $3 day, I do about $1,500. $2 day, I do about $2,000 to $2,500. They like $2 day. And then dollar day, I do another $4,000. So the graph goes like this, right? Your highest days are your $5 day and your $1 day. Then my bag sale days, I do really well, between $3,000 and $4,000. I also, so I have one store that I'm partnered with, Deal Days in Port Richey. I don't own the whole store, so I have partners there. And they do what I believe is a mystery box. So at the end of the week, they put everything in a mystery box and then sell the boxes for $20. That's a good alternative to a bag sale, right? People like the mystery boxes. They like, they'll take a chance on them. It's funny that, when I bought storage units, right? I buy a lot of storage units. I look at storage units today, Paul. I bid on one, so if I win one, I'll let you know. So I'm looking at storage units, right? This one goes for 500, 400, 300. It's filled with stuff, 200, 500, 600. We get to a storage unit that they open the door and it's a mattress. You can't see anything. As far as I know, there's nothing behind that mattress. That goddamn storage unit went for $2,000, right? Because everybody was excited. What could be behind the mattress, right? Took the mattress down as cardboard boxes, all broke. It was horrible. But it's just funny how everybody bid more on something they didn't know. What, you know, they were gambling, right? They were rolling the dice, gambling, just like from Vegas. We were in Vegas 2 weeks ago. You know, they're rolling the dice, trying to hit a home run, which I get. I love rolling the dice. I love gambling. I gamble every day on different things, on different loads. That's why I like unmanifested loads. David said, I appreciate what you have done for me. Thanks, David. We had a good talk the other day. I hope things are going great in Colorado. I saw your picture in Breckenridge. I don't know if that was your daughter or your girlfriend or your wife. I don't know, David, but you know, I saw the picture in Breckenridge. I love Colorado. I've visited a few times. Who owns Amazon FBA liquidation in LA West Coast or contract holder? I know you're out of Florida, but just thought I'd ask. Anthony, I don't really know. I would probably go to Midtown Liquidators. That's Mike Sims' company. He's in California, so he probably has all those contacts. I know I buy loads from Excess Limited, who is a contract holder. I think they're out of Indiana or Ohio. You know, he's in touch with them. You got Colton Carlson I would get a hold of. You know, these guys are the ones that I trust. I mean, there's a lot more out there that I would trust. You know, I know there's some names in my groups that I see all the time, but I just don't. I've never dealt with them, but I'm sure they're trustworthy. But be careful of the people that aren't trustworthy, okay? Because there's a lot of people out there that aren't trustworthy. You know, I have a video from that I got scammed. I sent money to somebody and they scammed me. They didn't send me the load. Best thing that you can do is either go in my group, Bin Store Co-op, or go in Truckload Liquidators when you find somebody you're going to buy from, and just put, hey, I'm looking to buy from this person. Has anybody dealt with him? You're going to get 50 people responding, oh, he's a great dude. He's a great dude. Don't deal with her. Don't deal with him. You know, so that's the, you know, the community that we're forming here in all these groups, you know, will help you out. There, you know, most of them aren't. Some people are greedy, right? Because I got hate mail, hate phone calls, people saying, don't tell people about this business. You're going to ruin this business. Amazon's going to watch your videos and stop selling this stuff. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to keep talking as long as I can talk, So isn't Colton Nice Finds? I think Nice Finds was Damien, right?
Yeah. I mean, they both run it.
But I don't think they're not business partners. They just work together, I believe. So Damien was on our show the other day. Colton's going to come on. I did reach out to him. With 7 foot, Dom says, with 7 foot high piece count Amazon loads, what % of the items would you estimate are valued over $10? So I've never bought the 7 footers. I've heard about the 7 footers. You know, they're kind of like a unicorn to me because I've tried to find them and I can't find them. Oh man, hang on, guys. People are calling me in the middle of this. You know, I haven't seen them. How many items are over $10? You know, they're all different. Like the high piece count that I get, you know, very few items. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look at Amazon prices, a lot of them are over $10. But I don't like Amazon prices. You know, everything is, you know, they'll be like Chinese private label, you know, exercise bands, right? But on Amazon, they're $40, right? So I mean, but I can sell them for $5. You know, I get $5 out of them on $5 days. So, But you know, there are some loads that are full. Excess Limited sold that $40,000 load, $400,000 worth of retail, $40,000. And one of our friends bought it up north, and you know, there's still an issue out with it, so they're trying to resolve it. But the point was, when you look at the manifest, it was filled with high-end stuff. So if you can get a manifested load, I mean, look at the manifest. If it's got good stuff, look at the top. Watch out though, because I see loads, you know, sold by these same companies that are processed. They're processed. So they go through them and take out all the good stuff, redo the manifest. They throw one iPhone in there, but then there's 10,000 phone cases, right? Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. And that's how they can sell them for 6 or 7 or 8%, because they're pulling out all the high-end stuff. And that's not beneficial to anybody in this business. You're going to buy those loads one time and then you'll never buy them again. It's like the never-ending finding a sucker rule, right? That's what they're doing with these loads. And I'm going to tell you, Excess Limited and Essex both do it because they both own retail stores. So they both process loads and sell the processed loads. They also sell unprocessed loads. Those are what I want. So, the bigger fool theory says they're going to sell it to you, and then they're going to find another fool and sell it to them and not find another fool. Hopefully the fools run out. People get educated. People watch videos like this and don't buy those loads. You can't make money on those loads. Nobody makes money on those loads. Even if you buy the load and sell it off by the pallet, the person that you're selling it to is going to get mad at you because there are going to be 9 million phone cases. I mean, the good thing is it's newer phone cases, right? Because everything's fresh off Amazon shelves. So it's not like you're getting iPhone 5. You will be getting the newest cases, but it's just who's going to need 1,000 of the same phone case? You just don't need it. So be careful of those loads. I don't recommend those loads. I mean, they're out there. They're super out there, and good people sell those loads. And I'm not saying I don't like their business strategy. I'm just saying your strategy can't be to buy those loads. Find the ones that are untouched, manifested, or unmanifested cheap, I mean, and then you can do well. I am looking for the 7-foot. I do know that there's a company in Florida, not too far from me, that buys these 7-foot loads and then breaks them down, sells on eBay, makes cheap pallets, makes middle price pallets, and then expensive pallets for bin stores. So you can choose if you want to pay $1 an item, $2 an item, or $3 an item, right? And that works for some people. I don't like it, but that works for some people. I don't mind that business model. I don't like it, so I won't buy from them. But because I want to buy the 7-foot pallets untouched myself. So I mean that's where I'm at with that. So hey Tom, do you buy Lowe's for your bin stores since they are cheap? So I don't. So Lowe's has the general merchandise loads. I think they're like $3,500 or something like that, $2,500 right now. I used to buy them a lot when shipping was cheaper. I was trying to figure out how to get cheaper shipping before Corona. I mean, I think I was paying $1,700 a load before Corona for shipping. I was negotiating with a trucking company to get it down to $1,000 because they were already taking a run to Atlanta. I wanted to bring it back with them. And then Corona hit. Now it's $2,400 to get the same load shipped. And I can't get it any cheaper. So I haven't bought any. I don't mind them. Sometimes they come in crap. I mean, like all crap. Sometimes they come in really decent. What I like is the Home Depot Turbo Smalls. Home Depot Turbo Smalls. Now, my problem is I buy them from Midtown Liquidators. They come out of Indiana. So I'm paying $3,500 to ship them, which puts my price way up there. The load costs about $10,500. I've seen them advertised for $10,000, $10,500. But to order them, to get the Turbo Smalls, it takes about a month, right? Because they're so backlogged with people that want them. So you got to get on that list and you got to buy them. So, I know that other people, if you're close to the distribution center, I think they're in Indiana, you're only paying $500 in shipping. I got to pay $3,500 in shipping. So, that adds another $300 a pallet onto my cost, which doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I just can't sell them as cheap as everybody up north. I wish there's also a center in Georgia, and I don't know and I know they have the Turbo Smalls there, but I think somebody must have bought the whole contract out because I can't get them from there. I think Registrix owns the Lowe's contract, I've bought from them before the general merchandise load. You just have to get in the door with the guys that sell the tool loads, the guys that sell the high piece count loads, and I'm not in the door with them. I'm only in the door with the person that sells the cheaper loads. In a bin store, you let the customers set the price. What's it worth to them? No. Bin store, price is set each day. So one store, Saturday is $5, Sunday $4, Monday $3, Tuesday $2, Wednesday $1. And I don't stray from that. Nobody gets a discount. Even if you're an owner of the company, you don't get a discount. All right. I stick to that rule there. Managers can't buy stuff early. If employees go on break. So what I do is I put the whole load out. The employees have to work 4 hours and they can go on break. And if they want to shop while they're on break, I'm fine with that. But they can't buy early. They're not allowed to buy early. I don't want to compromise the inventory there. I need the customers to get the good deals. If the customers get good deals, then they keep coming back. So no, people always come up like, oh, I'm going to buy 20 items. Will you give me a deal? No, come tomorrow if you want a cheaper price. You know, that's how it works in the bin store. I don't sway from that. I keep it that way. Hey, Tom, are there any places you can recommend near Baltimore where I can purchase pallets or truckloads? Not really sure about Baltimore. I'd reach out to Excess Limited. I'd reach out to Colton's, I think, in Nebraska. Not that that's close to Baltimore, but, you know, talk to Colton. I think there's a lot of fulfillment centers around your area that you can buy stuff from. I would go to Liquidation Truckloads on Facebook, sign up for that group, 20,000 people in there. Say, I'm looking for pallets, truckloads near Baltimore. You'll get about 100 responses. Be real simple. Anthony says, in a bin store model, the people decide what it's worth to them. Our job as owners is to find a better quality loads. Yeah, 100%, definitely. Customers decide what it's worth to them. Right. So if they think $5 is too much, maybe they come back on $3 day to buy the same item to see if it's still there. You're right. They decide that. I just don't sway from my pricing. My other bin store with Bing runs, it's 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm working on my third store. I think I might do 10, 7, 5, 3, 1. Contemplating it, not sure. I'll let you know how that turns out. David said, yep, that was my daughter, Kaylin. Frontier was $88 right. Oh, a right tackle for the Bucks. She came out for the weekend. You should do a pop-up daughter-daddy weekend with your daughter. Kaylin loved that we had no plan. We just got up in the morning, Googled what she was going on to do that day, and pointed the car in that direction. She had more fun with her dad than her last Disney cruise. Awesome. That's great. I love that, David. Yeah. I have all these trips. You know, Corona definitely, I love to travel. I have all these promises to my kids. When they get 18, I'm taking them to Mexico. Supposed to be 19, taking them to Canada, 21 to Vegas. So, you know, Corona kind of put a stop to all my trips. But, you know, my one daughter is graduating from school, I think in 6 weeks. So it's going to be her Mexico trip. Hopefully we can get back to traveling. Hopefully the craziness, you know, goes away and you know, I can get back to traveling and, you know, give my kid, you know, until my kids get too old. You know, I got 4 kids, right? 20, 18, 14, and 10. You know, when they get too old and move out of the house and, you know, leave me alone, then I'll be traveling by myself. But, you know, I'm excited to go on vacations with them. I've been promising my boys, my 14 and 10-year-old boys, a cruise for years now. And, you know, I didn't deliver. Corona hit. That stalled it for another 2 years. So they're playing football. When football's over, we're going on a cruise. We're going on a Carnival cruise down in the Caribbean. I'm very excited about that. Okay. Well, the questions are running dry. It's been 37 minutes, you know. I mean, if anybody has any more questions, feel free to put it in the comments. You know, I love the flipping business. I love trying to build my wealth. Every month I do a net worth statement. So I can, first of all, because I have all these accounts with crypto that my wife doesn't know about. So I send it to my wife so she can review it. And my goal every month is to have it more than the month before, you know, have more savings, you know, more income, more assets than the month before. And I think it's a pretty good plan to start. It doesn't matter where your level is, doesn't matter where you start, doesn't matter how you start the journey, but what's important is that you do start the journey, okay? You know, the financial system is rigged. It is rigged out there, right? The financial system in this country is set up for qualified investors. Is that what they call them? Qualified investors? Man, why did I forget that term? See, my IQ is very low. I keep forgetting terms. I think it's too much whiskey. But you know, whenever your net worth is more than $1 million, you're an investor that can invest in startups in early stages of companies. And because most people, 99% of us, aren't worth more than $1 million, you know, we can't invest in these companies. So we're stuck to invest in stuff on stocks and bonds on Wall Street, stuff like that, where the same guys that can invest in the early stuff make a commission off every penny we put in. We're called retail buyers, all right? So the system is rigged against retail buyers. That's the normal, common people. That's all of us. That's probably most of you people that are listening. You know, whoever is worth more than $1 million gets to be in those early startups. So it's been a problem for us to build wealth, for the bottom to get to the top, because we can't participate in the system. So that's all changed now that we have crypto. Okay, crypto is the first asset. First of all, it's the best performing asset in history. It has brought great wealth to so many people, and there's no rules or regulations to get involved in it. All right, anybody right now can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, any of the great. I would stick to the top 10. Anybody can buy it right now and participate in what is the most revolutionary system in the world. Everything's getting digitized, right? Name something that's not getting digitized. Look at your photos. Have you gone to a 24-hour photo developing place lately? Have you bought music on a CD lately? Have you bought a movie at a Blockbuster lately? No, everything's becoming digital. Everything's becoming digital. And the last thing to become digital, because all these old rich people, right, are fighting against it, right? That's the money. And so money's becoming digital right now. China has a digital yuan. America is going to have what they call the central bank digital currency. Going to have one here in America within a couple years. They're already developing it at MIT in Boston. You know, it's all going to be, money will be digital. They're going to get away from paper money because we spend billions of dollars a year printing paper money. So yesterday, the Bitcoin market went down, and I just wanted to explain what happened there. So yesterday, El Salvador made Bitcoin its national currency, not its only, so it uses dollars and Bitcoin, and the market tanked. So it should have been a revolutionary day. The market should have doubled yesterday because of what happened. But think about all the powerful people in the world that don't want us to go to Bitcoin. Think about the people that have millions of dollars in the US dollar, billions of dollars in the US dollar. They're too old. If you're a billionaire, you're probably over the age of 70 or 80. You know, like Warren Buffett, right? I think is 92. He still has a flip phone, right? He doesn't understand technology. But these people can't have their financial system disrupted. So the president of El Salvador, when Bitcoin tanked, you know, I think his name is Buterik, you know, President Buterik, he put a tweet out that said, "Thank you, IMF, for destroying the value of Bitcoin today. We bought more." So they bought the dip. Buy the dip. When any of that stuff goes down, buy the dip. I just want to explain one more concept called dollar cost averaging, because, you know, people get hurt because Bitcoin is very volatile, but it's volatile to the upside. It'll go down 50%, up 75, down 50%, up 75. You know, there's no time in the, if you are looking for 5-year period, you will definitely 10x your money. That's what's historically been happening. You know, so you need a dollar cost average every week. Figure out what amount you can afford. I don't care if it's $5 or $500. Every week, put in that same amount. I would stick to the top 10 on the list. My favorite is Ethereum. My number 2 is Bitcoin. I have most of my money in Ethereum. But of my liquid net worth, I have 100% in crypto. I own 0 stocks, 0 bonds, 0 anything. I own real estate and restaurants, but my liquid net worth is all in crypto, all in crypto. And it's brought me wealth that I could never imagine. And you guys need to start on that journey too. How to find the right load, 6-foot high peak house, Amazon, and I don't get scammed on Manifest. I would, you know, once again, go to, you know, we got Excess Limited, Midtown Liquidators, Colton Carlson. Go reach out to these people. Tell them you're looking for these loads. They're honest people. They're going to do you right. I mean, do you get crappy loads? Even these people can sell you crappy loads. And it's not on purpose. It's just because if you're going to get an unmanifested load, sometimes they're crappy, right? I mean, think about during Corona, we would get some loads. We'd get a 24 pallet load that 80% of it was masks, right? It was crazy, right? And at the time, nobody wanted masks anymore. You know, early on COVID, you could sell the hell out of them, but in the middle, you couldn't sell any masks. So you get crappy loads if you're going to buy them unmanifested. You also get good loads. So be prepared for both ends of the spectrum. All right. Don't get, you know, I think somebody put on one of our groups, like, don't buy from this guy. He sold me a pallet with broken tile cutters. So a whole pallet of broken tile cutters, and for $250, the person was complaining. I'm like, that's a good load. One tile cutter is $100. So if you can take 2 broken ones, make 1 good one, and you know, now you got 100 good tile cutters, sell them. You know, you got to be creative. You got to be, if you just look at broken things, you're going to lose. If you look at potential of broken things, you're going to win. All right. Because broken things still have value on eBay. Broken things can be fixed. You know, it's just part of the business. So get used to it. You're going to get some bad loads. Just deal with it. Don't complain about it. Don't complain about it. But set your expectation. Okay. Say to these brokers, all right, what am I getting delivered? 24 pallets, 6 foot tall, full 1,000 to 1,500 pieces, right? So then if the load comes in 20 pallets, you have a reason to complain. You have a reason, but don't complain about an unmanifested load that's full of firewood, right? I bought a truckload filled with firewood. I live in Florida. Nobody uses firewood in Florida. It's too damn hot. So you can't complain when you buy unmanifested. You can only complain whenever they do not deliver what they promise. So just hold them to what they promise. That's what's most important. Somebody put, it's definitely a grind. I think it's about finding the right suppliers and being honest to our clients in this game. Just by talking to our clients on the phone goes a long way. There. What's that?
You missed the one about what is the ideal width of a bin?
I don't know. I can't see who wrote that Facebook post there. It's definitely a grind. I think it's about finding the right suppliers and being honest with our clients. I don't know who's saying that, but you're 100% right. Being honest with our clients in this game.
PF liquidation.
Oh, PF liquidation. So I haven't bought anything from PF liquidation, but just by what you're saying there, you know, you sound like an honest person. Certainly, it's about no broker, a good broker wants you to make money on a load, wants you to be successful because you buy more loads from them. So find a good broker, find somebody who's honest with you, find somebody that's not killing you on a load, and and keep using them. So yeah, exactly. It's about being honest to our clients in the game. DLI put, what is the ideal width of an aisle between bins? I think the law is 5 feet. The law is 5 feet. I mean, I've never had anybody come in with a tape measure to measure it. We normally do 4 feet. Our bins are 4 by 8, but we do have them separated. So we certainly can add more bins if we decide to go bigger, which I'm thinking about doing because supply is really up right now. But yeah, I think 5 feet's the law. At least that's so I'm a New York guy. I live in Florida now. I've been here 6 years, but I know all the New York laws. I really don't know the Florida laws, and I don't know if it's any different. You guys are upgrading with special 360 video. Good work. Yeah, that's stupid cool, that camera. We're doing a walk around channel too. We're doing a whole bunch of new channels on YouTube. And Stan has the new GoPro that does a 360. So we're going to do, I don't know, maybe monthly walk arounds in my store so that customers can look through the whole store. They can pause it. They can look around 360. They can look up at the ceiling. They can look down at Stan's head. They can do whatever they want, right? And they can see everything in the store. And it's so clear. It's 4K. It's amazing video. 5K? It's 5K. See, Stan knows way more about this stuff than I do. So yeah, I like that. Somebody said Facebook manifests are never accurate. Yeah, that was the problem. So most of the time they guarantee the accuracy to a certain percentage, like 95%, 90%. I know the guy who got the $40,000 load from Excess, came in at 50%. So he does have a legitimate complaint. And I hope Excess resolves that with him. If not, we're going to have to blast Excess and make everybody more, more conscious about what could happen to these loads. Patriot Fulfillment. Oh, there we go. Patriot Fulfillment Inc. There you go. That's PF. There you go. All right. Thanks for the post there. Yeah. Reach out to Patriot Fulfillment. They can help you with your pallet needs. Paul, I think ADA requires 42 inch. So 42 inches, what? 3 foot, 36, 3.5 feet. That could be true. That could be. I know that, yeah, you're probably right. There's probably a federal minimum that they have, and then the states can go above that minimum. So he's saying ADA is 42 inches wide. I'm wondering if traffic's going one way. What happens if they're going both ways? But yeah, that seems kind of small, 3.5 feet. But maybe, yeah, no, that's probably enough to get a wheelchair through. So that's why that's the requirement. Thank you, Paul Antonelli. I appreciate the information. 50 minutes here. Anybody has any other questions? If not, we're going to sign off. Make your money, put it in appreciating assets, keep track of all your assets, grow your wealth, become rich, become wealthy. And what is rich? What is wealthy? I think in my mind, it's doing the things that you want to do without having to worry about money, right? I mean, I remember when I was in college and I went to McDonald's, I had to count all my change in order to pay for my meal. Then you graduate to a Applebee's, right? And Applebee's, now I go to Applebee's, then I go to Applebee's and I had to count my bills you know, to be able to afford my meal, but because I'm always conscious of it. And then you move up to a steakhouse. At some point, you don't care about how much the bill costs, all right? And that's because you progress in income as you get older, but you progress in assets and net worth. So the more you make, the more you save, the more you should be worth, and the more you shouldn't have to worry about price, you know? You know, my first car payment was $167, and that was so much to me, man. That was so much to me back in that day, you know, because I was making probably $335 an hour. I'm dating myself. I am 49 years old. So everybody knows I'm 49 years old. I always wonder, like, when YouTubers are talking about they're millionaires, and I'm like, how old are they? And how many years do I have to get to their level, right? Now I'm older than most of them. So, no, but I listen to like Grant Cardone or Gary Vee. Gary Vee, I think, 2 years younger than me. You know, but he said he worked for his father's liquor store and just saved up a few $100,000 and then invested that money in some early investments, which I'm kind of shocked that they would let him do that with a few $100,000. But that money turned into $10 million. So, you know, that's phenomenal. I am working on some 100x investments in the crypto space with a good buddy of mine, and you know they could explode. I don't, you know, I'm investing money with him. In the Cardano realm, in the Ethereum realm. I bought an NFT the other day, guys. This is the craziest thing I've ever done. Does anybody know what an NFT is? An NFT is a digital representation of a picture, right? So you're owning a digital picture. And so I bought a gorilla. I forget what it's even called because my partner is managing the accounts. So I bought a gorilla NFT, $21,000. My wife thought I was crazy. My wife was like, why the hell would you buy that? And, you know, so we actually bought 2 of them. We sold one off immediately, which, you know, my buddy thought they would go up. They weren't going up. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to hold on to it to see if it goes up. But yeah, NFTs are huge in the crypto space right now. Decentralized finance is huge. Cardano is just coming up with smart contracts. So they're developing a metaverse, which is a virtual land like Ready Player One, and you could buy land on there right now for pretty cheap. So we bought a whole bunch of land because if it does take off, you know, land on places like Decentraland is, you know, something that cost $500 2 years ago is now $50,000 on Decentraland. So I'm buying virtual land. That's one of my new investments. Why would you buy an NFT? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just got excited. He got excited about it. It was one of those, I think it was a Bored Ape, which is like exploding right now in the crypto space. So he asked me if I would do it. So I did it, and I'm losing money right now, but I'm in it for the long term. So Jason says, do you buy electronic loads to add to your bin store with the basic bin loads? So, you know, if I can find the scrap loads, I buy those. I mean, I was offered them in Canada the other day, and that's why I can talk about them, because most people don't want me to talk about them. But they're really messy. But I like them because they fit well in a bin store, because, you know, you might have like LED garden lights, right? But they're not in a box, they're separated. You can just put them all in the bin store. You're going to get phone chargers, you're going to get power banks, Bluetooth headphones. You know, you're going to get LED light bulbs. You're going to get Hue light bulbs, you know, and those sell well on eBay. You get all those. I mean, I really like the scrap loads. They're not always available. I'm having a hard time finding them. Like I said, I was offered them in Canada. I would buy the price they gave me. I would buy them all. So I'm trying to secure that deal. And if I get too many, you know, we'll let other people buy them too. So I do like those loads. You don't really get straight electronic loads, right? Because first of all, they probably sell them at 30% of retail. So that makes them that means a truckload's going to cost you $300,000 or $400,000, which most people can't afford, you know, but so they sprinkle them on top of the high piece count loads, right? So there might be a high piece count load with 24,000 items in it, but 500 of those items are electronics. So that way, if they put the electronics with the high piece count loads, the stuff that's hard to get rid of, right? Then it's easier to sell. So you very rarely see the electronic loads. Why would someone buy the Mona Lisa? Yeah, I get that. Why would someone buy the Mona Lisa? You know, what is a collectible? You know, I love collectibles because you know, certainly there's a lot of money in it, and I put a lot of thought. I've done a lot of videos on collectibles. You know, what you play with as a child, you want to collect as an adult. you have your most purchasing power in your 40s and your 50s. So I'm 49, I'm right in the middle of that. So I'm thinking, like, what did I play with as a kid? I need to buy that kind of stuff now and then hold it until for 10 more years and then sell it. So in the next 10 years, everything I played with as a kid is going to be much more valuable because everybody's going to be at the peak of their earning powers, right? You make a lot more money in your 50s than you do, that you actually earn less money starting in your 60s. So, my era was like Evel Knievel, Stretch Armstrong, Star Wars, but the kids a little bit younger than me was like Masters of the Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all those kind of things I always want to buy right now. They're collectibles. So now think about, will somebody buy a digital representation of something actually Topps baseball card just announced they're going to release the baseball cards as an NFT. They're probably still going to do the print, but they're going to do an NFT now. So let's say they issue a great rookie card. They might issue 1,000 of them, right? 1,000 of this rookie card. They're going to be number 1 through 1,000. If you get number 1 of that great rookie card, the exponential value of that NFT, it's hard to wrap your head around it. But what is money? What is collectible? It's anything that people deem money, anything that people deem collectible, right? I mean, imagine like they sold off Twitter's Jack Dorsey's first tweet, right? Jack Dorsey's first tweet went for millions and millions of dollars. I think that is super cool to buy. That will be worth as much as the Mona Lisa in the future, right? I mean, we're going to a digital world. We're changing to a digital world. Everything's going digital. And why wouldn't Jack Dorsey's tweet be worth just as much as the Mona Lisa? I think there's a huge proposition to say that it is. Are my kids, right? My kids are 10 and 14, 18 and 20. Are my kids going to find value in the Mona Lisa in the future? I don't think so. I think they're growing up in this world, and that's where they're going to find value. If you've ever watched Antiques Roadshow, right? Watch Antiques Roadshow because it's on PBS. So they're showing episodes from like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? And you watch it, they'll show, let's say this was an antique 18th century, whatever vase, right? 20 years ago, the value of it might have been $10,000. Now today they're putting current value, right? It's $19,000 20 years ago. Today it's only worth $7,000. Why? Because those kind of things are going out of style. The younger millennials aren't collecting 18th century vases. They don't give a shit about that. My grandmother and my mom are the ones who collected that stuff. That stuff is going away. And what's the new up and coming thing? Digital assets. So a digital baseball card that it can never be corrupted. It's written on a blockchain. Nobody can ever steal it from you. A digital baseball card, a digital artwork, digital anything. Songs are becoming digital. Your driver's license will be digital. Everything will be digital, and it'll all have a value in the future. So I'm very, very, very excited about it. But Ton's NFT is ugly and scary looking. Yeah. Esteban did see my Bored Ape that I paid too much for. It is ugly. It is scary. I don't get it why it's valuable, but I get that there's a mania behind it, and I was hoping to capitalize off that mania. But I can see how owning, I'm not a big baseball fan, but if you were to own a rookie card and it's the number 1 rookie card from one of the greatest players of all time, it's going to be worth a ton. Think about it. You don't need to go get it graded anymore, right? It's a digital representation and you own it. You're the only one that owns it. It's so cool. It's such a great concept. The future is so incredible. I want to start T.J. Tennyson, sports cards was dead for a while. Yeah, sports cards were dead for a while. But, Corona kind of brought them back. Gary Vee kind of brought them back. Now they're going for astronomical returns. I mean, it's the iconic players. Gary Vee's a big basketball guy, so he likes all them. There is a lot of value. We don't see the baseball card stores like we did in the 80s, but there's certainly stupid value in these one-off cards. It's like an autographed card with a piece of the bat, that's graded. Those kind of cards are going for stupid money. So there is value in all these cards. I bought a bunch of cards before Corona. I was investing in crypto. Half my money was in crypto, half my money was in collectibles. So I was buying comic books, I was buying baseball cards, I was buying anything that I thought would be worth more money tomorrow than it is today. But since Corona, I got rid of all that stuff and I put everything 100% into crypto. I was selling all my comic books. Almost all of them are gone now. I want to start selling online first, then graduate to a storefront. Do you sell small quantities and pallets? I do sell pallets here in my store just because I buy too many. I buy too many pallets, so I have to sell off my excess. If I touch a pallet, I'll tell you. If I don't touch a pallet, I'll tell you. It's real important that pallets are untouched. Most of my pallets are untouched. There are some that we do put them together just because we might have a lot of something, so we do put them together and know what's in it. But we'll tell you that whenever we sell them to you. We don't make much money on pallets. It's really just a business to keep in the business. We want to be the biggest buyer for the people that we buy from, so we buy everything they got so they don't go looking for another buyer. The minute I say I don't want that, they bring in another buyer, and now I have to compete on every load. All right, so that's why I buy everything my sellers have. So you want to start selling online first and graduate to a storefront? Yeah, certainly you can do that. Getting the storefront does make things a little more difficult, a little harder to be profitable. I've always thought that you had to go big, but yet, my great big store is not super profitable. It does good. We've only been open 2 years. I'm thinking that in the future it's going to do better. But our bin stores do very well, so I'm very happy with our bin stores. Paul said, "Where do you buy land on Cardano?" I don't. The good thing is that my partner in this space is a huge Cardano bug, and he bought Cardano Space. I think they call it Cardano Space. So he bought a 6x6 plot with some special attributes to them. And I don't even know. One of them is that you can have sound on it, and there's only 500 people that can have sound. So what it means is you can release a song on Cardano if you have one of these sound spaces, and then people can come to your space and listen to the music. So if you get somebody famous releasing something on your space, the value of your property is just going to go up. And there's only a small amount of those in Cardano. Now, I'm not a big Cardano guy. I'm not recommending Cardano. I don't believe in that yet. I do own a small bag of Cardano. I bought it just in case they did become king. I'm more of an Ethereum buff. So if my buddy was watching this, he'd be upset that I'm saying that. But I wanted to be early to something. Cardano's just coming out with smart contracts, so he figured out how to buy this space, and so we put money into it. So I bought a 3x3 space because there's no more 6x6s available. But his 6x6 space, I think he bought less than a week ago, is already doubled in value. So he's making a lot of money on that. But I don't know where he buys it. I'm going to talk to him later on today. I can find out where to buy it. I think just I know that Ethereum has OpenSea, which is a tradable NFT marketplace. I believe Cardano has a similar one. I just don't know what it is because I don't care to dabble in it. I just really my deal with him is him and I partner up, pay 50-50, and he spends the money because he's a techie guy. I'm not a techie guy. I'm more of a sales guy. And so he knows about all these early projects, and so that's why I give him the money and let him spend it. So hopefully it will pay off in the near future. Although my ape project is not paying off yet. I might have paid too much for those. Oh, Paul found it. Thank you. All right, great, Paul. I'm glad you found it. I'm glad that you're getting involved in this kind of market. Crypto is so exciting, so exciting. That's two terms that you need to understand for the future. If you fully understand blockchain and you fully understand decentralization, it'll change your mind on all of this, because right now it just sounds like a bunch of crap. I'm sure that's if you haven't invested the time into crypto, and I have a lot of friends that I got into crypto, but they still don't know the truth about what it is. They still don't know about decentralization. They still don't know that I don't think there'll be countries in the future. That's a weird concept, right? There'll be no countries. There'll be no businesses. There'll only be few businesses, service businesses. But businesses like Amazon and eBay will go away, and they'll be written on a blockchain. So nobody will own them, but anybody who participates in the company will own them. And it's a hard concept to wrap your head around. So once you can wrap your head around that, you come to these epiphanies that you're gonna live. I think citizenship in the future is going to be in a metaverse. You're going to live in Decentraland or the Sandbox or maybe in Cardano spaces. And you're going to be in your room with your VR. I just think it's so cool. The future is so cool. And I know some people don't like me talking about it, but I'm very excited about it. And like I said before, it's brought me great wealth, and I want you guys to start that journey too. Because if you can start today putting $100 a week into crypto, into Ethereum or Bitcoin, in 10 years, you're gonna have millions. You're gonna have millions, and I don't know of any other asset that can deliver that for you. I don't know any other asset. So everybody out there who keeps saying, stay away, it drops too much, it uses too much energy, it's no good for society, only criminals use it. All these people that spread FUD, the term is FUD. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. All these people spreading FUD really don't know about the fundamentals of it, and really they're really hooked on the legacy financial system that doesn't reward average people like us. It doesn't reward. It rewards the rich people. It rewards the people that get to make a commission off all the money that you put into your accounts, okay? And they make commissions off billions and billions of dollars, and they become billion. It's not fair to me that somebody that manages money can become a billionaire, all right? Because there's only one place that money comes from. That's from people like you and me. All right, I don't think that's fair. And with Ethereum and decentralized finance, or any crypto and decentralized finance, all those people go away. So the term is economic rents. The economic rent, which would be the fees, the payments we pay to these people, now get returned to us. So therefore, they're eliminated. The rents come to us. If you're a stockbroker today, you should really think about a new job, especially if you're younger. I mean, you don't want to be in that business in the future. There'll be no business in the future. I mean, I took out a loan. On a site called Celsius, and my interest rate was 0.75%. So less than 1% on my loan. Try to get that loan anywhere else. 0.75%. It's incredible. It's incredible. What about Shiba Uno? Oh no, Alexandru, do not put any money in the Shiba Uno. Do not do what I did, right? Do not do what I did. See, I did it, so I made my mistake. You got to understand that. What I did is, so when Shiba Uno, I couldn't have been when it first came out because I missed the spike. But when it was at like 0.00004, I bought like 120 million of them. And then it went to 0.00008. So I lost 80% of the value of Shiba Uno. So it's just sitting there. It's what they call a meme coin. Could it go up? Yeah. The truth is nobody, I don't care who they are, nobody really knows what's going to happen in this space because it's still so early in the space that that anybody could win. I'm betting on the two big ones, Ethereum and Bitcoin, but anybody could win. One of these small chains. I put a little bit of money in Solana. I got a friend Ken that put some money in Solana. And the returns in a few weeks has been, for me, it's been 300% in just a few weeks. So they could win. They could take over everybody. I don't know, but that's why I'm putting my money in it. I'm sticking to the top 10. If you're not convinced, and I'm going to get to your question there, Saul. Look at the stat. Crypto adoption is doubling every year. Okay, so think about that premise. Crypto adoption is doubling every year, and the price is going up 200% every year. So there's 150 million people in the world that use crypto right now, that own crypto right now. That's it, 150 million. So that's how early you are if you get involved today. But do the math with me, okay? Do the math with me. Let's double this every year and see when we get. So year one, we got 150. All right, year two, 300,000 people. Year three, 600,000 people. Year four, 1.2 million people. Year five, 2.4 million people. Year six, 4.8 billion people. I'm sorry, I was supposed to say billion, right? Boom. There goes almost all the world. So 6 years, crypto will be saturated. Crypto will be saturated. Now, an average has gone up 200% a year. So let's do that math times 6 years. So right now it's at 50,000, right? Then it'll go to 150, 300,000, 600,000, 1.2 million, 2.4 million. So in my opinion, it'll be 2.4 million in 6 years per Bitcoin. So if you get on the train now, in 6 years, exponential rewards, exponentials. Don't sell it. Don't sell your crypto. Never sell your crypto. Never. Things will be valued in crypto. Have you ever tried to buy the freight from lost, unclaimed packages, pallets? No, I haven't. I'd love to buy those, though. I would definitely take a truckload of those, Sal. I don't know if you have any connections. I've seen them before. I'm from the country part of New York, but I've seen the auctions like in Miami, or even like the luggage from the airports. I'd love to buy one of those loads. There is a website, govdeals.com, where you can buy some of that kind of stuff. I know like all the knives that they confiscate at the TSA from the airports, they get auctioned off there. So you can buy pallets of like, Gerber knives. There's so much value. They go for a lot of money, but I love that kind of stuff. But I would love to buy the packages, because a lot of stuff gets lost in the mail. I don't know how much. I've sold, I don't even know, tens of thousands of items on eBay, maybe more, things get lost. Things get lost all the time. It's shocking how much, whenever you get into higher volume sales, things get lost all the time. So I'd love to buy one of those, because there's zero intrinsic value in crypto, only what people are willing to pay. Listen, John, a value of the coin is based on social momentum. Sure, 100%, John, if you're right. If your coin is not trending, it's a dead coin. Agreed, John, agreed. Because what is value, guys? What is value? Value is what two people agree is value, okay? So you and I agree, you have eggs and I have a want for eggs. We agree that I can trade American dollars for eggs. That's what we agree upon. That can be gold, that can be silver, that can be bottled water. It can be, over the history of the world, it's been shells, it's been rocks, it can be anything. It can be anything that you and I agree on. The American dollar has zero value. It used to be backed by gold, and then in 1971, in August 1971, they changed that. 50 years ago, we went off the gold standard. So they used to say we used to have $1 million in gold in the bank, and then we could print $1 million in currency. But Nixon changed that 50 years ago. Okay. Now at that point, it became a fiat currency. So that's a government-backed currency, backed by nothing. Now, some people say it's backed by guns, right? Because pretty much our government is backed by guns, right? If you don't pay your taxes, somebody with a gun comes and grabs you and takes you to jail, right? If you want to disagree with the United States, somebody with a battleship will come to your front yard. If you want to sell oil to another country, a 10,000 person army will come in there with bullets firing. Now, I'm not looking to get into politics, but I think now that I understand money way better than I did 2 years ago, that I don't, if we can print infinite money, there should never be poverty in the world. There should, everybody should have health care, and nobody should ever go hungry. I just don't understand why that's a bad concept to have. I like that concept. Sound money is not a principle of the United States, but it is a principle of Bitcoin and cryptos. So for some of them. So sound money principles is what solves everything. There's no more overspending. There's no more greed, no more corruption, no more, if you have sound money principles, a pharmaceutical company can't raise something 500%, right? Because we're not printing money. So therefore prices have to stay stagnant. Matter of fact, prices will go down because the value of our money will go up. And that's something we haven't seen in a long time in our country. Sorry, I don't want to get involved in that. Lost and found TSA tokes usually go to Washington State and be auctioned. Yeah, I've seen them on GovDeals. Lost and found in TSA. Yeah, so I've only seen the knives being auctioned off. I've never seen the luggage and the USPS packages. Never. Me and my wife are looking to open a bin store in Mass. Is there an honest dealer to get truckloads from that you may know of? So once again, so who's on my list right now is Colton Carlson, Excess Limited, Essex, Midtown Liquidators. You can contact all those people. But I would go to Liquidation Truckload on Facebook. Put in there where you're at, what you're looking for. Hopefully you can find somebody close. But just remember, the brokers are getting these loads from somebody else. If you can go to the person before them, you're going to save money. You go to the person before them, you can save money. Some of the tiny brokers are brokered loads, right? You don't want to pay all those fees within that, especially if you're paying the bargain warehouse fee, right? What if somebody's brokering a bargain warehouse load? They're already marking up the $40,000 load $6,000, and then the new broker might mark it up another $2,000. Now you're paying $8,000 more than you would have if you went to the contract holder. So try to figure out where these loads come from. Do your research. Google them. Take the title and put it inside Facebook search and see if anybody else has that same title. Because if you look at the value, like they might say a $400,000 load, or the number might be 398,264. Google that in Facebook and see if it comes up anywhere else where somebody else is offering the same exact load for cheaper. All right, that's why you're eliminating the broker contract. All right, now you're going to a broker who's direct to the contract holder. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be at the end of it. And if you can get to the contract holder, which is hard, not everybody can do it. You know, that's where you're going to get the absolute best deal. So I'm not shitting on brokers. I'm shitting on brokers that broker brokers loads. If that makes any sense. Supposedly coming straight from USPS. Yeah, I'd love to buy. John, I've seen some USPS loads for 52 pallets at 24,000. Yeah, John, where did you see that at? I'd love to see one of those loads. I've never had the opportunity to buy one of those loads. I would though. I would. What do you think would be in there? I mean, shoot, that could be just about anything, right? Yeah, gifts, birthday cards. What do you mail nowadays? I don't mail anything. I mail like rent checks, right? Because a couple of my landlords are like OG, right? They won't let me wire them the money. They won't let me, Zelle them the money or Cash App them the money. I got to mail them a check. I got one store that, man, this guy doesn't even have a cell phone, man. He's so old school, and they don't do anything with tech. I don't like everything's got. I want to wire. I want to do everything over a computer. Send it to you. Send you the money. So what's in the mail? What do people send in the mail anymore? It would have to be gifts or Amazon stuff, right? Returns. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of different stuff. So certainly, Tyran Williams, good luck. I hope you do open a store in Mass. I wonder where at in Mass, Tyran, because I used to live in Mass and I got family in Mass. They live in Attleboro, North Attleboro. I love Massachusetts. A lot of money. Oh, Paul's from New Hampshire. A lot of money out there in Mass, a lot of expensive areas, but I know once you get to Western Mass, it's a lot cheaper out there in, I forget the name of the town. I bought Ware, W-A-R-E. I bought a truck in Ware when I was living out there. Ware, I drove all the way to Ware, found a Explorer when I was a kid. But yeah, Massachusetts is a great state. bin stores work everywhere. If you can find a decent rent, I know where my brother lives in North Attleboro, everything's expensive, but I'm sure in like Providence area, which is Rhode Island, you can get decent rent. I'm sure there's areas of Boston you can get decent rent. I know up north there, I forget what the name of the town, what's the big city up north of Boston there? It was on that HBO special about drugs, ruined the city's reputation. What? Not Worcester. Worcester's out west. You might get a good deal in Worcester. That's a great city. Foxborough. Well, my brother lives next town over for Foxborough, so we'd go to the game all the time when we were down there. What else? Somerville and Reading. Oh yeah, I know where that's at. Somerville, yeah, that's near the Cape, I believe, if my recollection. Oh, Lowell. Yep, Lowell is that city up north. Yeah, they did an HBO documentary about, I think maybe meth or crack, and man, it just destroyed the reputation of that whole town. It was like an ex-pro boxer. I mean, it was just crazy. The town hated it. And so they had to deal for years and years about that reputation. Now I guess it's rebounding. But a lot of those towns, are like the town I'm from, all the manufacturing shut down, right? All the manufacturing shut down. So it's tough. Oh, Lowell, 15 miles north of Boston. Yeah. Yeah, so certainly that's a fantastic area to be in. There's a lot. I mean, when I lived out there, there was flea markets everywhere. And the flea market, like I went to a flea market that had 20,000 people a day go to it. It was incredible. I used to sell there at that flea market. It was at an old dog racetrack. I forget what town that was in, because that would be like 20-something years ago. That's where one of my first starts in the business. Back then I was buying jeans. Somebody was getting used jeans, and then they were dyeing them, right? So I'd buy the jeans off the guy for $6, and I'd sell them at the flea market for $15, 2 for $20, and I would just sit there yelling and screaming, who needs a deal? Who needs a bargain, And then I would start buying stuff from yard sales. I mean, that's kind of the beginnings of my flipping experience. At the time, I was working at Play It Again Sports, so I was learning to buy and sell the used stuff, buy and selling used stuff, so it was very good. Hoping Haverhill or Plainstown, New Hampshire. You know where that's at?
Further up, I believe.
That's further up. Esteban's from Lawrence, Mass. Lawrence, a good area. Yeah. Anywhere you can open a bin store, it's going to work. Bin store is going to work. The only thing about New Hampshire, I'd guess, would be shipping. Might be a little more expensive to get shipping there, but no sales tax there. All right, nice. Hello, this is Mrs. Attitude 2020. Hi, I'm very close to getting mine open here in Tampa. Oh, Tampa! Down the road, took your advice and just pushed forward. Made some awesome contacts for truckloads. I'm so appreciative of your advice. No, I'm good for you. Listen, I don't look at anybody as competition. I wish you all success. Let me know what part of Tampa you're going in, because I want to open more in Tampa. But I'm probably going to go more toward like Clearwater and St. Pete, down in that area. I know that there's I believe there's one over by Oldsmar that's either opened or opening up. Some people are looking at it. But Tampa is such a big city. I think if everybody stays, and listen, I don't care. If you're better at business than me, then I need to go out of business. But, if everybody stays 15, 20 miles away, there's plenty of people in this area to open up. There literally could be 100 bin stores. I know there's one in, what's the city south of, where is the circus started in Tampa, down south of Tampa? What's that little town? Yeah, like Barnum and Bailey's was stationed, or Ringling Brothers was stationed south of Tampa, in the little town. There's a bin store in that town right there. But Tom, what's your opinion on opening a mini bin store in a commercial business park that has 2 gyms in the park? I've always been against it. I always thought you wanted to be 5,000 square feet. But my old manager has one. I think it's only his name's Dave. I think it's only 1,500 square feet. He seems to be doing well. And then somebody posted on here the other day, they have 6 bin stores. They're 1,000 square feet each, which I never fathomed you can do them in that small of a store, but they seem to be working. They seem to be working. My only fear is being so small. Do you have storage? Where are you going to store your backup? Because you got to have backup, or you got to make sure. See, the problem is, like, you could buy from me because I do have high piece count available right now. But what are you going to do when I run out? What are you going to do when I don't have enough for my store? So I'm not going to sell you any. You got to have that plan in place. You got to understand that it's, you got to have a plan. So always have a plan, guys. Always have a plan how you're going to do the backup inventory. Oh, they're talking together. Tyran, email Paul. There you go, Tyran. Email Paul. You guys can get together, work something out. Help each other in the business, because that's what this is all about. Just helping each other out, giving away the secrets, giving away, letting everybody know how to make money. We all make money together. We build relationships together. If I help you, if I bring you any value, my goal is someday you're going to bring me value. We're going to return it, and we're all going to grow together. That's all I want to do on this channel. So listen, the best thing you can do to bring me value is you can like and subscribe to this channel, the YouTube channel. If you're not watching on YouTube, go to YouTube. It's Liquidation Motivation. If you like and subscribe, that certainly helps me out. I do make a little money off the YouTube. Right now, I make about $400 a month, but Stanley costs me way more than that. So I'm losing money. Right, Stanley? So hopefully someday, if I get enough people to like and subscribe, I'll be able to break even with Stanley. Stanley's looking for a raise. So, please like and subscribe. Tyran, you're the man. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching my channel. Thank you, everybody. If anybody's had any more questions, I'm willing to stay on. We've been on for almost an hour and a half now, but I can never get bored. I never get bored talking about liquidation or crypto. I can talk all day long as my voice holds up, as long as the water keeps coming. My wife gets sick of it. Sarasota, Death Pile. Esteban says you should open in Sarasota. I think. Well, no, there's one in Fort Myers, Florida. I don't know if there's one in Sarasota. Sarasota is a great town. I went there, brought my boys down there, stayed in the hotel on the beach. It is a rich town. There's a lot of money in Sarasota. That's like West Coast rich in Florida, right? North, south, east. Yeah, West Coast rich in Florida. East Coast rich is like Boca, all those areas down there. South Beach. I am looking in Ocala. I don't know if anybody has a bin store in Ocala. I haven't heard anybody having one. There is a spot available in Ocala. I'm going to go look at probably Friday, because I don't have football practice on Friday. I can go up there. The rent is pretty inexpensive. You know, what I do is I go to LoopNet. So go to loopnet.com. That's the largest commercial real estate advertising in the United States. You know, I type in the state of Florida. I type in my minimum square footage. You know, so let's put 3,000 in minimum square footage, and then I sort it by low to high, and I look to see who's got a plaza. All I need is a box, right? All I need is a shell. I don't care what's inside of it. I don't care if there's no flooring or the walls look like crap. That doesn't matter in a bin store, okay? I just need a shell. I need air conditioning in Florida. Some people don't need air conditioning. We got to have air conditioning in Florida. And I need a large parking lot. If they have those three things, then they fit on my list. And you can, you know, right now I'm looking at spaces that are $3.50 a square foot, $4, $4.50, and $5. I'm looking at all those spaces. I'm going to see which one brings the most value to me, to see which one I can open my next bin store. But I don't want to stop opening bin stores. I am contemplating how I'm going to build my next bins. I'm working on orange crates to be my next bins. I have somebody who wants to sell us 80 orange crates, and they're 4x4. So that would give me 40 bins. I have to build stands for them. If anybody has a good idea on bins, somebody did have some really nice metal bins in one of their bin store pictures. I did like it. My only problem was the sides were only about 6 inches tall. I think that's too short. But they looked very nice. But I'm not trying to look nice. You know, I don't care that I build bins out of wood. What I care about is splinters. You know, that's what I care more about. You know, there is a concept in retail that you keep it looking crappy so that people feel like they're getting a steal. All right. If you have it look too nice, you know, they're going to think that it's overpriced. You know, it's a mental thing that people do. They're super. I was being told about a store out in I think it's like Jacksonville that if you paint the walls, they won't go in there. You know, they're a pop-up liquidation store. They go in there, they blow things out. They want it to look ugly. They want it to be cheap.
We talk about Sarasota, you know, it's more flash to have, you know, a bin store in a tourist area, a Sarasota, or you go to a property area, whereas, you know, a $40 item, someone paying $1 is like gold to them.
Yeah. So first of all, I don't like ghetto. I will never go in the ghetto, if that makes any sense. I don't, you know, because I don't want to deal with broken windows and homeless people and stuff like that. But I don't mind a community that's a little less fortunate, right? You know, there's a lot of small towns in Florida. There's probably a lot of small towns. I'm thinking about opening one. I'm thinking about partnering with somebody in my hometown of Watertown, New York, and opening a bin store up there. I'm sure there's no bin stores up there. I don't know why I'm not doing that right now. My brother's up there. I should give him a call today and see if he wants to do it. I'm sure he would. I think what Jimmy says, hi, Tom, I think you would do great with a bin store inside Resale America. Yeah, we thought about that, Jimmy. We thought about doing that because I think a bin store did just open in Lakeland last week, maybe. So we thought about maybe sectioning off. My problem is this, is that I bring the pallets in here. You know, let's say, like, remember those exercise bands that are $40 on Amazon? You know, I will take 20 of those and sell them in my store for $9.99. And then I'll take the other 100 and throw them to the bin store. So I don't want customers to come in and see the bands for $9.99, but then say, oh, well, I can just buy them over there in the bin store for $5. So I don't want to confuse my customers. I have issues with confusing my customers. Now, I don't have a problem is if maybe I sectioned off part of my store and made it into a bin store, so it's closed off to the rest of the store, and just do a bin store. But I've decided just to keep everything elsewhere. If you came to my, you know, if you look at that 360 video, I have so much damn inventory right now, which is fantastic. Why is it fantastic? Because what's coming up next month? Fourth quarter coming up next month. October, November, December is fourth quarter. Businesses do 50% of their sales in the fourth quarter, and they do most of their profit in the fourth quarter, okay? So I have every shelf, every cabinet, everything is stocked full. You go to my electronics section, I got hundreds of everything, and I love that. And, you know, so I really don't want to, I have too much stuff in my store to section off a 5,000 square, although, I mean, 110,000 square feet, I probably could do it. But I think it'd be more value if I just put it down the road. I would do one in Lakeland here if I had the right real estate option. I haven't had the right real estate option yet. I would do something real close because then I could, you know, just down the road, I can deliver it. I know there's a closed Pier 1 right out front of our mall, but, you know, they want, I think it's $20 a square foot. I'm not going to pay $20 a square foot. I want to pay between 3 and 5. You know, that's my target price to make me as profitable as I can. And you can find them. You can find them. You just got to be patient and find them. You can look on Craigslist. There's lots of other brokers out there that you can look on. The real problem is there's not like one place to go to get commercial real estate. LoopNet's the biggest, but they also most people are hiring clients that are on there. So you want to find like my guy that doesn't have a cell phone, who owns the plaza that I'm in. He's old school. He does all the work himself. The parking lot looks like crap. My store looks like crap. AC breaks down all the time. That's the plaza you want, right? Because now you're paying dirt cheap. You're paying $3 a square foot gross. What does gross mean? Gross means you don't have to help with all the other. The bigger plazas make you pay insurance, part of their insurance, part of the property tax, and then part the CAM, the common area maintenance, cleaning up the parking lot. You don't want to pay that. So yeah, that's why I'm not doing it, Jimmy. Smart. That's why you make the big bucks. I'm pretty rich, Jimmy. I'm pretty rich. Someday I'm going to be rich. Someday I'm going to be rich, Jimmy. I'm successful right now with the stores, the restaurants, real estate that I have, but I'm not rich yet. I think you become successful, then you become rich. But you have to get to that success part first before you can become rich. But I have everything in the works. I've made some smart decisions in the last 20 years. I decided to start this journey. You got to start this journey. Everybody's got to start this journey, right? So that you can get to that level. I hope you talk to me in 5 years. I hope I'm on a live stream in 5 years. And what you're going to, Stan, will you put a beach behind me? This is going to be me in 5 years, right? What my goal and my plan is to take my liquidation business. My hopes is that financially I'm well off enough where I can pay my partners off. They're happy. And then we give this company to the employees. And so my great managers, my great employees, they own the company. They can benefit from their work in the company. And then I can just step out and I can go here. You want to? Yeah, I'll take that. This says Puerto Rico. Look at this. So I can go to Puerto Rico, wear this hat in Puerto Rico. Why do you go to Puerto Rico? Because Puerto Rico is an American province, right? American territory where taxes are just about nothing there. I think I'm not sure what it is, 4%. Income tax. A lot of rich people move to Puerto Rico to evade having to pay these ridiculous taxes in our country that go to nothing. I don't want to say nothing, but to a lot of stuff that I don't really principally agree with. Kev Camp. Hello, Tom. Thank you so much for all the great info. I want to open a bin store in Massachusetts. I am willing to pay you franchise fee consultations fee if you can help me opening a bin store in Mass and New Hampshire. That's the second person that wants to open there in Mass and New Hampshire. I haven't been doing. I don't do consulting. I don't need the money to consult. I do take phone calls. I do talk to people. I'll be happy to give you free information. Really, the best value is going to all my videos and look at my videos, especially the ones that say bin store in it. It's such a simple concept. You don't need a consultant. You don't need to pay anybody for this business. I know a lot of people that pay for programs to become rich, and they're always so poor because they're always paying for programs to become rich. Yeah, just get off your ass and do it. I love you, Kev. I'm not being disrespectful. Just go do it. Build some bins, simple. Or find some way to do a bin, simple. Find cheap real estate, simple. Get 3 cash registers. The Square cash register, $300, simple. Register your business, simple. I don't take cash. That way I don't have to go to the bank. I don't have to worry about theft. I don't have to worry about anything. They complain for one day and then it went away. Simple. Get the IKEA big bags. If they want to buy the bag, I buy them for $1 and I sell them for $2 if they want to take the bag home with them. Simple. It's so simple to run. You don't have to inventory anything. You don't have to price anything. Just dump stuff in bins. If you want the simplest business in the world, Kev, get into a bin store business. I think my belief in a 5,000 square foot store, you should be able to profit if you run it yourself about 100 grand. If you hire a manager, you have to take that manager's salary out of there. So approximately 100 grand. If you can get the inventory, make sure you have enough storage for backup inventory. Right now we have a full tractor trailer outside of Amazon 6 foot tall that just sits there. We keep the doors closed because that's our backup. If we run out of everything else, then we go to that backup. But we don't want to touch that backup. We got to keep the backup. So if I have more than that backup, then I can sell it to the public. Other than that, we don't want to run out. So it's so important not to be able to run out. Bin store to flea market. Good idea or bad idea? Lower rent. I like flea markets. I love flea markets. You know, you can get. I don't think the rent is lower. Actually, the rent is actually higher in a flea market if you base it on per square foot. I've been in flea markets for a long time, but you get a guarantee. You get the crowd that the whole market drives in, which is great. The only problem is I haven't wrapped my mind around how you do the progression of the prices. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's my favorite way to do it, because most flea markets are only open like Friday and Saturday. I mean, if they let you open more, if they let you open 5 days a week, then certainly you can do it there. But if you're only open 2 days, you know, one customer was saying they wanted to do $5 in the morning, then go to $4 in the afternoon, $3 in the morning, then $1 in the afternoon. I mean, I get it. I'm not sure how that would work. There's going to be people that are going to try to scam the system. There always is people trying to scam the system. So just get used to it. Don't get mad about it. Just deal with it. Understand that that's just a cost of doing business. You just have to have a good strategy. So, yeah, hourly. My only worry is inconsistent inventory and truckloads to fill the store. Certainly. But you're going to be, that is a concern. It's not so bad right now. Listen, pre-COVID, it was not a problem. During COVID, super problem. Now, no problem. So, I mean, barring any sort of what do they call it? Black swan? Yeah, I think they call it a black swan event. Barring any sort of black swan event. Now, what would be a black swan event? COVID gets bad and they lock down again. That would be a black swan event. Amazon changes their policy on how they're going to sell the smalls. Black swan event. I mean, those are really the only two things that I think could really disrupt this market. Because even if Amazon decided to stop, there's other places to get high piece counts. You can buy Target high piece count. I buy CVS. There's Walgreens. There's, you know, there's a Home Depot Turbo Smalls. There's lots of other places to get high piece count. That you just have to have. You just have to have a business plan that deals with stuff that doesn't fit into your bin store. You know, fit into what you want to put in a bin store. Like even when you buy the Home Depot Turbo Smalls, what I get is I get 12 pallets of smalls, perfect for bin stores. Then I get 12 pallets of mediums. They always mix the mediums with the smalls. I assume they can't get rid of the mediums, so they mix them in with that truckload. So then I have 12 pallets that I have to sell off. And, you know, but I mean, sometimes they're really good pallets. Sometimes they're saws, drills, you know, they're going to be like shop vacs and stuff like that. I like the pallets, but I have a big retail store. If you're just a bin store, you got to figure out a strategy to get rid of all that stuff. So it's never easy. It's, you know, just have a strategy. I like layering it. Amazon, eBay, bin store, flea market, garage sale. Have, you know, 3 or 4 of those layers. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Make sure you have a strategy that incorporates 3 or 4 of those items in there, okay? If you plan on doing one, don't be in this business. You have to incorporate 2 or 3 or 4 of these items in there, okay? Because everything's on different levels. When I found the 12 cell phones like this in my store, they're not going to sell. On Amazon, I was blocked. But on eBay, I got $1,000 a piece out of them, okay? But then I also, with that same truckload, I got thousands of phone cases. Threw them on my bin store. If I didn't have a bin store, I'd have a yard sale or a flea market to get rid of the low value items. So you got to have all those levels. Daniel, aren't bin stores that are next to each other a good thing? If it's a destination location, buyers from one will go to the other and vice versa. Everyone wins. Yeah, I agree with that. You're probably right. I'm just saying if you're fresh and you're going to open a new store, I would think you'd want to strategically not be near another store. But I get what you're saying. You know, but whoever's the better of the 2 stores, I think would have the longer line in the morning. And then maybe, you know, you want to be the better of the 2 stores no matter what, because you want the line first and then they go to your store afterwards because you have better inventory. So yeah, I mean, I like it when thrift stores are next to each other because I can go to both thrift stores. But it's not as time sensitive as maybe a bin store is because everybody's lined up early to get the best deals. But yeah, you know, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. The more the merrier in this business. If people travel, people will travel. You know, I think it's easy to do. It's not. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't strategize to put it next to another one. But if it happens, it happens. You know, I guess. Yeah. Autobus says hourly. What did I say wrong? Hourly what? I think they're talking about hourly on the flea market, doing a bin store in a flea market. Yeah, you can do that. My thought was this. All right, let's say at 12 o'clock you go from $5 to $4. So I want to buy a whole bunch of stuff. So it's $11.59. So I stack a whole bunch of stuff in a corner of a bin, and then I go out, right? I don't buy it. I go out, and then I come back in. I go right back to my stack, and I buy it all. So I get it cheaper. So anybody during that time, that time frame that it's about to transition, I think there could be people that decide to hoard the merchandise and buy it in the next time frame. But if they have to come back the next day, then they need to buy it that day, or they might lose out on it. So I don't know. I get it. Either way will work for me. If you're close to another bin store, why not just have your dollar day when they have their $10 day? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, Paul. So we do right now. We do our $5 day on Saturday. So you're saying just do it on. So we do our dollar day on Wednesday. So if our dollar day is on Wednesday and the other guy's $5 days on Wednesday, you definitely would get both ends of the spectrum there. I like that idea. Yeah. Find a good pricing strategy. Anything will work. They all work. You certainly should be able to make good money on this stuff. Make sure you have deep enough pockets. Get your money right before you decide to go into business for yourself. Okay, but I don't care if you lose it all. I don't care, because you learn from losing everything. I've lost everything before. I've claimed bankruptcy before. I've had to move up my wife and child into my in-laws' house and live in my in-laws' house and have no money for gas. I've been there. I've been through that struggle. I know what it's like. I'm fortunate because I have a great family network. My family, my wife's family, they've always supported us over the years. Whenever I have made the plunge into poverty, but it's when you have that network, it's real easy to bounce out of it. So hopefully you got a good network. Make the plunge. Take the chance. Listen, the worst thing you can do is not take the chance. Think about it. The richest people in the world, when they're on their deathbed, right? They're on their deathbed. Their regrets are not spending enough time with family and not ever taking a chance in life. Not ever taking a chance. It doesn't matter if they got billions. It's never about the money. It's always about what you didn't do, right? It's about taking a chance. Given that, I mean, there's so many people that just live these ordinary lives. I just think life is more than that. I had this kid. Now, it was good that he was a kid, but he was like 26 years old, working for me in Albany, New York, and we lived on the main road. I think it was Route 1 some years ago. And this kid never got off that road, the one road. He's never been out of the city. He's never been out of the state, never been out of the country, never been on an airplane. And, and his parents weren't broke. I mean, I'm not saying they're well off, but it just bothered me that was the scope of this young man's 26-year-old life, was just one road, riding the bus on this main highway, back and forth to work, back and forth to school, to football game. He was a big guy, football player, but he never traveled off that. His family never took him anywhere off that road, which shocked me. It shocked me. So life is about having fun. Life is about traveling. Life is about experiencing the crazy things in life. I mean, if you haven't, I don't want to say some of that stuff, but if you haven't tried, man, there's so many people that are just, there's so many people that are just tired with it. Remember the commercial with Dunkin' Donuts, and the guy was like, "Time to make the donuts," right? And then the next morning, "Time to make the donuts." And I've felt that in my life before, like your life is just so repetitive and so mundane and just ordinary that you need to bring excitement to that's what I think life's for. So that means jump out of an airplane, right? I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to jump out of an airplane, but jump off the stratosphere, right? We went to Vegas and my buddy jumped off the stratosphere. I don't have interest in jumping off the stratosphere, but my point is my point is this, is that when I went on my honeymoon, we went to Jamaica. And we went to Ocho Rios, and they have a thing called Dunn's River Falls, right? So it's a waterfall, and you go to the bottom, and you get in a group of like 50 people, and you climb the waterfall as this ladder. And it's a steep waterfall, but because you're trusting this person, and you're helping this person, it's very fun and exciting, and everybody can do it because you're all relying on each other. And I didn't freaking do it. I didn't do it. I don't know why I didn't do it. I don't know if I was just had a bad attitude that day, or I didn't have the money. I don't know what. No, I had money at that time. So I didn't do it, and I regretted it. And so fortunately, a few years later, I went back and I climbed the falls. Don't make those mistakes. Whenever you get an opportunity to do something that impacts your life, that changes your life, that's special in your life, do it. Do it. I regret so many things that I didn't do when I had the opportunity to do it. And I don't know why I didn't do it. Do it. They had another place there, which is called Rick's Cafe, and it's a cliff. It's a cliff that all these people line up and they jump off this cliff. And I don't even know how high it is. I don't know, 50, 60 feet, something like that. And which might not sound high to you daredevils out there, but that's high to me. I didn't jump. So now my goal is to go back there and jump off that cliff. But that's what life is about, man. Going down zip lines, having a good time. Dunn's River Falls. Yeah, Dunn's River Falls. I just think that's what the life's about. And how can I expand on that happiness and everything that's by making money and saving money and building my wealth. So that's my goal, to make my life special, to make my family's life special. I want my kids to grow up feeling the same way, right? I want them to feel special. I want them to feel like this life is worth living, as opposed to, I mean, I don't know how many husbands and wives out there are like, wake up in the morning and it's just like the same routine over and over again, because a lot of them are trading their time for hours, right? I'm sorry, their time for money. So they work these jobs. They work in a goddamn cubicle that they hate. They work with people that they don't give a crap about, and then they come home and they got to worry about bills and all this, so many people are in that dead end life. Don't work your way out of it. If you're in that life, work your way out of it, man. Who wants to be brokering truckloads for a living? How exciting is that? Do something that you love. I don't care if it's liquidation, but you can use liquidation to get to that level, right? Maybe you love cats. I dreamed one time, I woke up in the morning, I said to my wife, I had a dream last night that you opened a store that's called Just Cats. And you got cats running around and all you sell is cat stuff there. And I don't like animals. I probably shouldn't say that because a lot of people like animals. Paul has like 16 animals. But my wife has a cat, right? And so I've always, because she sits in, I don't know if she's watching this or not, but she sits in that desk and does this all day long. HR, sending HR here, writing up an employee, a termination letter for this employee. I just don't think I think life has more meaning than to be sitting behind a desk pushing paper. That's all I'm saying. And so you got to find that happiness and you got to pursue that happiness. That's what I think it's about. Miss Attitude, Dunn's Rivers Fall. Yes, so much fun. Miss Attitude, absolutely Tampa. That's a great place to go. If you haven't done it, go there. Who we got here? Oliver. Hey, Tom, sorry, totally forgot about email from Canada. Anyway, I will send you the details now. Also, would you be interested in buying jewelry such as rings, watches, average retail between 14? Yes, I would. Oliver, I'm always looking to buy everything, Oliver. I think Oliver's in England, I believe. He reached out to me before about shoes. It didn't work out, but, we'll see what comes of this. I'll deal with anybody, Oliver. So thank you. Please send me that information, Oliver. Stan, put my email address. I don't know if you have my email address. Put my email address in the comments. It's tvwedeal@yahoo.com. Please send that over, Oliver. I'm definitely interested. I'll definitely look at the jewelry and rings and watches and see what that's all about. Esteban says the Big Top flea market is gone, but the big sign is still there. Do you think the big sign has value? I think it has iconic value. I think the Big Top has been around for a long time. I would love, maybe you and I should go out one night, late at night, and go try to see if we can grab that sign. Just kidding. Now, if the sign shows up missing, they're going to come looking for me. But yeah, I did drive by that the other day. So for those of you who don't know, I was at the Big Top flea market for about 4 years selling there. Whenever I found this Amazon contract, I started selling there. I did very, very well. It changed my life. It changed my vision, changed everything about my life. So, I have a special place in my heart for the Big Top. I'm glad that I'm at Resale America now because it's got air conditioning fixed now. They never had air conditioning. So for years I was there without air conditioning. It was hot during the summertime. But, that's what you got to do, right? You got to do the hustle. We had the right price to be there, and it worked out real well for us. So, yeah. Life, where are we at? About 800 items in the moment on the wedding bands and rings. Oh, yeah, Oliver, I'll take a look at that. I mean, I don't know how big of a market I have for that kind of stuff, but I'll look at it. Well, life is about having David said, life is about having the freedom to enjoy an unplanned weekend with your daughter in Colorado. 100%, David. 100%. Colorado is so beautiful. I saw your pictures from Breckenridge. I mean, if you've never been to Breckenridge, it's one of the most incredible areas in the world. During the wintertime, they have this huge ice skating rink that's just surrounded by all these townhouses and buildings. It's just so much fun out there in Colorado. I love to ski. But you know what I didn't know was altitude sickness. You guys ever experience altitude sickness? You're about to? Where are you going?
I'm going to hike with my friend in China, 17,000.
In China?
Yeah. Next year.
So when I went to Colorado, I stayed in Keystone, Colorado, right? We flew in, we flew into Denver, we drove up to Keystone, and then I go to a bar, right? Now I'm a pretty good drinker, right? I own 3 restaurants and they all have liquor licenses. I think some people might say that the only reason why I bought a bar was so that I could drink for free. So I'm an experienced drinker. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'm experienced. I go to Colorado, I drink 2 beers, and I go outside and throw up. I had no idea about this altitude sickness because your blood gets so thin and you drink. No, up there. Saying because of the heat. Well, your oxygen level's down so much. You drink the alcohol, it affects you way differently. I was sick after 2 beers, and then we went to the top of the ski mountain. I could barely even see. Everything was like it was like I was wasted. So altitude sickness was a big thing. One of my buddies didn't feel it at all, and another buddy never left the Airbnb we were at. Never left because he was so sick. So you got to deal with altitude sickness in Colorado. But it's one of the most beautiful places in the world, Breckenridge. There we go. All the things there. Boy, hour and 50 minutes. I don't mind answering all the questions. I love it. I love this business. I love everything about it. But this looks like a great place to sign off. Please, anybody, if you have any questions, reach out to me. We'll probably do a live again tomorrow. We like doing these lives. Even if we get one person on, this is really, if you're looking for help and consultation, this is really where to do it, right? Because you can ask me all the questions you want on here. I'll answer them the best of my ability. If anybody has any pictures of their bin stores they want to send us, or any good ideas on bin stores, send it to us. Maybe we'll post your picture up here. Promote you a little bit to our fans. But anyways, so please, if you haven't liked and subscribed, go down below and subscribe. YouTube channel, Liquidation Motivation. This is the only way that I get to break even on Pay and Stanley. Resale America is my store, 110,000 square foot liquidation store in Lakeland, Florida, the former Macy's. Deal days, we got one in Winter Haven, 2820 Recker Highway. We got one in Port Richey in Jasmine Plaza. Go over there and see Jen. Tell Jen I said hi. Yes, but now I didn't get anything done for 2 hours. I got you, David. I got you. All right, guys. Signing off for now. Thanks for watching. Now go out there and make some money. All right, ladies of Lakeland, call Grady Judd because we have just stolen some shoes. That's right, we bought 1,200 pairs of Macy's shoes that range in average retail $80 to over $200, and we're blowing them out. We got brands like Coach, Calvin Klein, Michael Kors, DKNY, 1,200 pairs of shoes. That's right, and we're blowing them out for $20. So remember, Resale America in the former Macy's is now selling Macy's shoes for only $20. Come down to Resale America where we sell for less.